There we go. Some U2, Streets of No Name. What I was about to say before we stopped there was, if that had been the Edge strumming an acoustic guitar rather than that electric delay feel, would it have been as good as that? We'll never really know.
Do you know what's really funny? Bill Murray, the comedian, did a. Is it Bill Murray? He was on Strictly. I think it is Bill Murray. I might need to check that. I think it was.
Was it Bill Bailey?
Bill Bailey. That's it. Who's Bill Murray?
Bill Murray's in Ghostbusters. I was wondering. There's no way it's Bill Murray. It's
Bill. That's it. Yeah, Bill.
Bill Bailey.
Bill Bailey. That's the one. Bill.
Yeah.
Bill Murray.
That makes a lot of sense.
Bill Murray. I think, although he's a comedian, it definitely wasn't it, because I think Bill Murray did the voice of Garfield, didn't it? Yeah, that's definitely not the right. Yeah, Bill Bailey. I'm on about. I stand corrected. Anyway, he did he was doing a stand-up gig, and he basically made a joke out of U2, and said exactly that. And he basically said, if you take away all of the effects on the guitar from U2, then, it would sound completely different. And he basically, he got an electric guitar out and he basically just started strumming it. And it was just so funny the way that he did it. He just basically took away all of the delay, took away all of the reverb, and it was just like this dead electric guitar sound. It was just so funny. But yeah, no, probably not, to be honest. It definitely wouldn't have had the same energy, or it definitely wouldn't have had the same feel to it. I mean, it's the delay that kind of it was that delay sound that made U2 iconic, I think. It's like whenever I use a lot of delay because I take a lot of inspiration from U2. So I put a lot of delay feels on my guitar tracks and stuff. People who listen to them always say, oh, it's like literally it sounds like U2. So I feel like that delay sound is just made U2 iconic in that way. Do you know what I mean? It's like whenever you hear delay guitar, you just instantly think, of the Edge. Yeah. That's kind of, just what you think.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, probably not. I mean, if I think it is that delay sound that does bring that whole guitar riff to life, definitely. I mean, if it didn't have that on it, it would sound completely different. Completely.
I'll be looking that up later. The U2 without delay.
Yeah, it's funny.
See what all the songs sound like.
Yeah, it's funny. It is funny. Yeah.
But U2, I know. Obviously, our good friend Dara is a huge U2 fan.
He is indeed. Yeah.
And yeah, I'd say he listening about the house. Like when I lived with him, he turned me a bit more on to U2's music. I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, again, they're just a band that I grew up with. Just the whole sound of U2, really. I mean, Where the Streets Have No Name, I can remember listening to that when I was, tiny, 3-4 years, literally my earliest memories, really. It's just one of those bands, again, that I've kind of just grown up with and have always been there in my life. And probably always will be, because I love U2. I think they get quite a lot of stick as well from certain people, but I think they're great, and they're massive as well. I mean, they've done incredibly well for.
I mean, since they came out, they've been pretty huge.
Yeah, they've been massive. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the Joshua Tree, that album was just it's certainly the album that I recognise the most from U2's discography. It's probably the most well-known one, I would say.
I'd say so.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of it's got the most well-known songs on there. Alongside With or Without You, Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, no, they're a great band. Another band that I'd love to see, which I don't think I ever will, but for some reason. But yeah, no, they're awesome. They're awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. also Irish.
They are indeed. Yeah, they are indeed Irish from Dublin. Yeah.
Just something about, Irish musicians. Like, we're just the best in the world. I don't.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's definitely something about Ireland that they produce some very cool bands. There's a band called Inhaler, who are also Irish, and the singer is Bono's son, and they're really cool.
Oh,
Yeah. So, and they, I mean, because he's Bono's son, he can't not sound like Bono. But I feel like, maybe they do try and, I mean, they obviously sound, they kind of sound like early U2, so sort of like the punky phase of U2. But they're really cool. You should check them out as well. They're awesome.
I might give them a wee listen later on.
Do it.
But right now, right in this moment, right now, we have more of your playlist to talk about.
Okay, sounds good.
Eyes to the Wind.
Ah, The War on Drugs. Yes.
Tell me about that track.
Have you heard of The War on Drugs before?
I've heard of them. I've never heard any of their songs.
Okay. Eyes to the Wind. Yeah, it's awesome. It's they're War on Drugs are a band that I again was introduced to fairly recently. A friend of mine really, really likes them, and what's really cool is I believe the front man is also the producer as well. I think it's a sort of situation where he's like the singer and the face of the band, but he kind of like writes all of the music and produces it. I think it's almost like a similar situation to Tame Impala.
Cool. Let's have a listen.
Do it.
Eyes to the Wind, The War on Drugs, from an album, Lost in the Dream. Here we go.
If you've got a feeling that you can't put into words, don't worry, friends.
Because there's a song for that.